Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about a brief history of the symbol of swastika, and in this particular video we are going to discuss about that how this symbol of peace that has been for 3000 years has been a symbol of peace all across different cultures of the world became basically a symbol of hate. So let us start and try to understand first of all that why we are discussing about this particular issue. So recently this symbol has been in use because the California State Senate, that is California is one of the state on the western coast of the United States of America. So the California State Senate have unanimously passed a bill to criminalize the placement or display of Nazi Hakenkreuz or hooked cross in German, which resembles the symbol of swastika. And the bill clearly points that however this Hakenkreuz is not similar to the symbol of swastika that is associated with the religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism, and thus the act does not intend to criminalize the display of the swastika associated with this religion, but only to criminalize the use of swastika that is the Hakenkreuz, a version of Nazism. Legislation also makes California the first state in the United States to recognize the ancient swastika associated with Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism as a symbol of peace. Now let us try to understand that how and when the use of swastika began in the ancient culture. So as we have discussed right now that as far as India is concerned, basically the symbol of swastika is associated with all the three main religions of India, that is Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism. And overall, if we try to understand, in the ancient culture, swastika was a symbol that was associated with good fortune as well as auspiciousness. And basically the term swastika has a root in the Sanskrit language where it is made up of three different words. The first word is su, that makes swa. The su basically means good. The second word is asti, that means to be, and ka is something that is kind of suffix. So basically the swastika in Sanskrit stands for something to be good or good to be. So basically it means good fortune or a well-being of individual as well as society and nation in general. So overall, as of now, if you look at in the modern India, swastika is nothing but a ubiquitous symbol that you can see all across on the walls of temples, homes, vehicles, and even above entrances and doors in different houses. Because as we know that in India, the swastika stands for good fortune, well-being, as well as auspiciousness. Now let us try to understand the difference between the Indian symbol of swastika and the German symbol of Hakenkreuz. So as you can see from this particular diagram, on the right side we have the Nazi symbol and the left side we have the Hindu swastika. So as you can see, we have three major differences between these two symbols. The first difference, as you can clearly see, that in the Nazism, the swastika or the Hakenkreuz has black color, while in Hinduism, swastika whenever we make, it is either red or orange or yellow in color. The second major differences arises that in Hinduism, the swastika is kind of straight, while in Nazism, the swastika has been rotated by around 45 degrees. The third important difference, as you can see, is that in the Hinduism, swastika is associated, and also we can say along with the swastika symbol, we also have four different dots in four different sectors of the swastika, and these four different dots is believed to represent the four Vedas of Hinduism, that is the Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, as well as Atharva Veda. So basically, as far as Nazism and the ideology of Nazi is concerned, the swastika symbol basically stands for the racial purity of the Aryan race, while in Hinduism, the swastika symbol basically is auspicious and welcoming, has attributes of auspiciousness and welcoming in nature. So these are the four major differences that we can find between swastika as well as the Nazi symbol of Hakenkreuz. Now, the swastika symbol is not something recent in origin. If we try to understand, for the first time such symbol has been discovered is dated to be somewhere about 10,000 BC. That is almost, we can say, 12,000 years ago from now, on an ivory mammoth. Mammoth was, we can say, a predecessor of modern day elephant. So the tusk, or we can say the ivory, the teeth of this mammoth was the first time on which we have found the symbol of swastika, and it is found in the modern day Ukraine. Not only that, the symbol of swastika has also been found in the civilizations of Mesopotamia, that is the modern day Iraq, the Americas, Algeria, and even in the Far East such as China, Japan and South Korea. Not only that, we can find the swastika symbol, as you can see from the diagram or picture here, from the Chinese culture, as you can see, we have pottery that is dated around 2600 to 2300 BC, and there we can clearly see the symbol of swastika. Similarly, in the ancient culture of Greece, which is dated around 800,000 BC, also you can clearly see the symbols of swastika on the potteries. And not only that, even in the Mediterranean region, from the Neolithic times, we can see on the horns of the idol, we have the symbols of swastika. So we can basically understand that swastika is not something that is related to Germany or related to India only, but it has been widespread across all the cultures of the world, extending from far east to far west. So why swastika has emerged as a controversial symbol in the West? So the reason is because most of the people in Western world consider swastika or associate swastika with a symbol of anti-Semitic Third Reich that was led by Adolf Hitler between 1933 to 1945. And after the end of World War II, when the Axis power was defeated by the Allied powers, the swastika symbol and its display was banned in Germany and subsequently in other European countries such as France, Austria, and Lithuania. However, even after that, for a long period of time, the Finnish Air Forces kept on using the symbol of swastika, and recently in year 2020, they have basically dropped down from their insignia. Not only that, even before World War II, there has been incidences of American Air Forces, the 45th Infantry Division, using the symbol of swastika as their armband. However, this symbol of swastika was orange in color. Now, if we try to understand the use of this symbol today, so this is the symbol that is being used by neo-Nazi group around the world today to identify themselves and to gain support, gather support, and even to in the rallies all around the world, especially in US, Canada. In modern time, in recent times, we can see a display of such symbols along with the Confederacy flags that you can see here. The next point, if we try to understand, is that how Adolf Hitler was able to appropriate swastika and convert into a Nazi symbol. So, Nazi Party, which is a short form for National Socialist German Workers' Party, when they wanted to adopt a new flag, they wanted their new flag and insignia to be such in nature and striking enough to be the first cause of awakening interest in the ideology, in their ideology. And somewhere while writing a book when he was in jail, the famous book or autobiography of Hitler, Mein Kampf, here he has written clearly that for designing of swastika, he had chosen three different colors, that is red, black, and white. These three different colors were also present in the earlier flag of the German Empire. So finally, it was in year 1920 when the Salzburg Conference or Salzburg Congress was going on. It was that time finally Nazi Party adopted the symbol on their flag, and it was it was basically a symbol of their idealized imperial past of Germany, and also at the same time the symbol is supposed to lay out the ideology of national socialism and its hope for the future of Germany. Now, what is basically the swastika means as far as Nazism is concerned? So, as per again the Mein Kampf book where Hitler has written about all the symbol, he has clearly written that the red color of the symbol or red color of the Nazi flag express the social thought that is underlying the Nazi movement or Nazism. The white color of the flag express the national thought, and the swastika symbol on this flag signifies the mission allotted to us, that is allotted to the Nazi party, about the struggle for the victory of Aryan mankind. So the main driving force behind the symbol or behind this flag was the concept of Aryan master race, where Adolf Hitler and other proponents of Nazism clearly believed that Aryan race is superior race of all the races, and that is why the increase in the number of people from Aryan races should be the mandatory goal of the Nazi party. As you can see from the flag here, this is the ancient flag of earlier flag of Germany, which was till 1918 flag of German Empire. After that, we have Weimar Republic, that is when the flag was changed. So as you can see, the black, white, and red color of the German flag was incorporated into the Nazi flag of Adolf Hitler as well. So basically, if we try to trace the root of this swastika symbol in the Germany and in Nazism, it can be traced back to a German archaeologist known by the name of Heinrich Schliemann. Heinrich Schliemann was involved in archaeological work, and he found almost 1800 variations of swastika-like symbols on different pottery fragments on the site of ancient Troy situated in Turkey. And it was during this finding that he believed that basically the swastika symbol is a representation of the Aryan culture or Aryan race who have been able to withstand the attack from different races and have been able to maintain the purity. However, the another very famous or noted German Indologist by the name of Max Müller, he was not agreeing with the view of Heinrich Schliemann, and basically he also have suggested Schliemann to not use the term swastika outside of India, because Max Müller believed that the word swastika is only belongs to the Indian land, and any use outside of India is not pertinent to the history and culture of the region. Now, what was the main Nazi worldview which symbolized the Nazi flag? So, first of all, the Nazi worldview was that German people, they believe, are the direct descendants of the Aryan master race, and thus they believe that this German people are superior to all other peoples, all the races, and that is why the main objective of Nazi Party was to maintain the racial purity of the German people. That was their paramount goal, and all communities that were in their worldview inferior were to be eliminated. And that is why we have seen a large number of killings of people who belong to the homosexual communities, people who belong to Romani communities, people who were having some kind of physical disabilities. They were considered as inferior by the Germans, inferior by the Nazi Party, and that is why they believe that the elimination of these people is the only way how the superiority of the German race, superiority of the Aryan race can be maintained. And it is under this Nazi flag that the worst of the crimes of humanity has been carried out, and the worst crime that we know that has been carried out against the Jewish people during the reign of Nazi Party is the Holocaust, where the Nazi Party and Hitler believed Jewish people to be their foremost enemy, and that is why they sought to persecute them and ultimately exterminate them. And it is due to this region, it is due to this ideology that during the Nazi reign, millions and millions of Jews were killed in the concentration camp. And also we can see here, this was the symbol that how Jewish people were identified on the street, is that all people who belong to Judaism basically have to carry a symbol, have to carry we can say a cloth on their armband or wristband carrying this kind of this pentagram signal. So what is the relevance and importance of swastika in today's world? So first of all, the swastika, apart from in the Indian culture, as you know, it is clearly a symbol of peace and auspiciousness. In the Western world, it evokes a notion of violence and racism. Basically today, in the Western world, the symbol of swastika is clearly associated with right-wing populist parties and the supporter of right-wing populist parties, and they are basically discontent. It shows their discontentment with the post-World War II, the liberal democratic order that has been set up in different countries and which have not been able to satisfy the demand of these fringe elements. So these parties and the people and supporters of these parties are steadily gaining traction in the mainstream politics of Europe. And not only that, today we have a lot of parties that are coming into power or gaining large number of seats in different countries and nations of Europe, who are propagating views such as ultra-nationalistic views, racist views, as well as anti-immigrant views, and their popularity is continuously on rise. So what are the evidences of this? So major evidences that we can see in the global geopolitics today is the rise of Viktor Orban in Hungary, who is believed to be having a fascist leaning, fascist ideology. Similarly, Marine Le Pen, though she lost the election to Emmanuel Macron in France, despite that she was able to capture a large number of seats or large proportion of seats as compared to previous year. And similarly, in far away in South America, we have the rise of Jair Bolsonaro as the president of Brazil for a very long period of time. So what is common among all these leaders is that they are believed to be leaning toward the fascist ideologies, and they are believed to be more ultra-nationalistic in sense, anti-immigrant kind of views. Not only in Europe, but also in USA and Canada, in North America, we are seeing a large-scale use of the symbol of Nazism in rallies that is going on in USA. For example, when we have this movement that started, ultra-nationalistic rallies or white supremacist rallies that occurred in USA, there we have clearly seen the display of Nazi flag. And even in Canada, when the truckers hold rally against the COVID-19 pandemic restriction, there also we have seen the use of Nazi flag. So what basically we can say in the conclusion, the most important thing we can say is the quote from Viktor Frankl, who was a victim of Nazi Holocaust, who was imprisoned in the concentration camp of Adolf Hitler and Nazi Party. And it is in the concentration camp when he was writing a book, he said that for the world is obviously in a bad state, but everything will become still worse unless each of us does his best. That means it is not only the responsibility of government, it is not only the responsibility of political parties, but it is the responsibility of each individual in the world to ensure that the hate does not triumph, and it is only the always the love, and it is always the respect to each other that triumphs. And thus what we can say, that Auschwitz, which has been the worst crime recorded in the history of humanity, conducted by Nazi party and Adolf Hitler against Jews. Since Auschwitz, we know that what man is capable of, and since Hiroshima, we know what is at stake. That is also a quote of Viktor Frankl. That means we know that what or how cruel human can be, or some people can be. And since Hiroshima is the only time when atomic bomb has been dropped, and we know that what is at stake. So the whole global order, global peace, and security of people are at stake. So this is something that we should be concerned about. So that is all about this particular issue. I hope you understood about this topic and the differences between swastika and Nazi symbol of swastika. That is all for today. Thank you very much.